Hi, my name is Mary. Today FM plays the best music in Lambasa. Today FM rocks.
My name is Thomas. I'm here in Nakasi and I like to listen to Today FM because it rocks.
My name is Milenia. Today FM rocks here in Singotoka.
My name is Alfriti and Today FM rocks here in Tabwa.
My name is Mary Jane. I love listening to Today FM here in Ba. Today FM rocks.
My name is Ilay Tiambal and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks here in Osur.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, some police prosecutors lacking in court skills. First transportation subsidy to be paid. A narrow escape for 4 from fire.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spade.
It has been revealed that some police prosecutors lack prosecuting skills during court sittings, and this has had an impact on the outcome of certain cases. Acting Police Commissioner ACP Rusiate Tundravu made the revelation at the closing of a 6-week advanced national prosecutions course in Suva today. Rachel Nath with more details.
The police force says some of their prosecutors have not received proper training to prosecute cases in court.
There's a disparity in the quality of case presentation before the court. That is a given. And by a lay prosecutor against a senior and legal practitioner. And such a disparity in some instances have impact on the outcome of the cases. The court is neutral and cannot be seen, therefore, to be leaning over to one side, favoring prosecution.
The police has joined forces with the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution to minimize complaints against police prosecutors and guarantee proper accountability through an advanced training. DPP Legal Officer Yogesh Prasad says police prosecutors are now ready to take up retrial cases at the Magistrates Court.
Basically learning the fundamentals of evidence. The reason being the importance of evidence was one of the major components of this course.
Of the 28 graduates, 8 were awarded special recognition, with Constable Loselini Loloma topping the class.
We are now well equipped to prosecute cases all across Fiji, and it has really helped us a lot in terms of our advocacy in court.
ACP Tundravu says the knowledge gained through the sessions will contribute to efficient administration of Fiji's justice system. Rachel Nath, FBC News.
Over 2,800 farmers from the Lambasa Mill area will soon receive their first ever transportation subsidy. The Lambasa Cane Producers Association yesterday paid over $574,600 to the Fiji Sugar Corporation, which will now be deposited into individual farmers' accounts. Ritika Pratap reports.
Farmers who met the standard of the Fair Trade Premium will soon receive this subsidy.
We are very fortunate that our sugar is almost 100% fair trade certified. Maybe the only country in the world. So as long as we can find the market, the Cane Producers Association will always get that money to assist you. So we need to maintain our certification, we need to maintain doing what the executives are doing, continue the good work.
The payment of $1 per ton is from the last crushing season, and the payment will depend on the production level of each farmer.
The transport subsidy allowance, as said by several speakers today, will gradually decrease the burden, as this is one of the major costs in our sugar industry.
Fairtrade focuses its efforts on farmers so they can receive a fair share of money from the billion-dollar sugar export market. The Lambasa Cane Producers Association was the first organization in Fiji to become Fair Trade certified. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Political parties have been requested to compile a list of all their active social media accounts. Party officials met with the Electoral Commission yesterday, where the Supervisor of Elections explained the requirements to them. Mohammed Saneem told the officials, as well as their accounts, they need to communicate with those who may be operating accounts supporting but not controlled by the political party. Saneem says this will enable the Fijian Elections Office to implement the 48-hour campaign blackout period in effect before Election Day. Saneem also ran an update on preparations for the 2018 general election. All parties except the Freedom Alliance attended the meeting. 4 people are counting themselves lucky after escaping a house fire in Vatuanga, Suva earlier today. According to witnesses, the 4 were in the house when the fire started. Ali Kimbia with the story.
All they heard was a loud explosion which could have triggered the fire. But when FBC News arrived at the scene, firefighters were trying to prevent the blaze from spreading to the other parts of the house.
When we came out, we saw the fire. The fire started from the side of the house, and when we went there, we called for the fire brigade. Fire brigade came, but it was too late.
According to Devi, there is nothing left for the family, and all they could do was watch the firefighters as they tried to save parts of their 3-bedroom home.
I shouted at them and told them to come out, and the house girl Sere was also there. I told them, all of them, to open the gate and just come out. Don't stay there.
As the police and NFA still try to determine the cause of the fire, witness Kelera Rocco Vasili says it was an escape from death for the occupants.
They are lucky no one died. They were running away from the house and nothing was left.
Investigation into the cause of the fire continues. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Schools today are no longer divided or identified based on ethnicity. This was the message by Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama while officiating at the Sambeto School Centennial Celebration in Nandi last night. Felipe Naikaso reports Bainimarama assured the residents of Sambeto that the education system has changed and is better than what it was a decade ago.
Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama has praised the positive changes introduced to improve the education sector, adding he's proud to see schools nowadays enroll Fijians from all backgrounds.
Indeed, while the school has changed over the decades, it is clear today that one thing has remained constant since its founding. Parents desire to create a brighter future for their children through the light of education.
Bainimarama reiterated the government is working towards a more knowledgeable society.
I know that many of the students who fill their classrooms come from families who depend on farming for a living. Our farmers are truly a pillar of Fijian society. They fuel our economy and ensure that affordable food is on the table of Fijians throughout our nation.
The Prime Minister says they're dedicated to opening as many doors as possible for the children and ensure those doors stay wide open throughout their lives. Meanwhile, the Sambeto Central School, which has more than 280 students, is celebrating 100 years of teaching and learning. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
Still to come, former civil servant jailed for abuse of office. And final touches for Hibiscus Festival underway. Details after the break.
Bula, nevang go malakay leloma, ngongai nakas on the wakarong ng Bula FM, number 2 ay nasir.
Hoya ubasit sai sa Lambasa, ya on talita na warong ng Bula FM, number 2 ay nasir.
Guya do tumeli ako na tao no hingatoka, talita kina na warong ng Bula FM, number 2 ay nasir.
Warong tuma ng Bula FM, number 2 ay nasir nawaluan.
Nevang go fani na tao no hingatoka, kita on talita ka ng Bula FM, number 2 ay nasir.
Bula FM, number 2 ay nasir.
Inmates from the Rewa and Namosi province now have hope to find a job when they have served their time in corrections. This is after the Rewa and Namosi Care signed an MOU with the Fiji Corrections Service today to be a beacon of light to those who will get a taste of liberty in a very long time. Anna Ravulo reports.
Fiji Corrections Service Commissioner Francis Keane says it's important for rehabilitation work to continue outside the correction facilities.
We are very thankful to the Fiji Corrections Service that they have given us 12 months prior to the release of an inmate to work with them and also connect them with the villagers at home and more importantly their families before they return.
We are so thankful that FCS thought of the people of Namosi who are inside here. And this program will go a long way for them.
The MOU in place allows the two committees to give the inmates something to look forward to when making their return.
As of last year,
we are extending these rehabilitation efforts out to the communities, out to the doorsteps and the homes of those who were once under our care.
The Corrections Service will soon have a similar committee in the province of Tailevu, Lau, Kandavu and Serua, with plans to include religious organizations. Ana Ravulo, FBC News.
A former manager of the Ministry of Provincial Development's Rural Housing Unit who deprived 20 families from receiving assistance following Tropical Cyclone Thomas 7 years ago was sentenced to 2 years imprisonment by the High Court this afternoon. 63-year-old Chovili Sindao was convicted of 1 count of abuse of office. Pranita Prakash was in court and filed this report.
The court heard that in August 2011, former manager of the Rural Housing Unit, Chovili Sindao, directed staff under his supervision to sign a delivery docket to accept a supply of building materials to the value of $184,000 from Central City Hardware Limited. However, building materials worth only $46,081 were supplied by the hardware company. The building materials had been ordered for the Cyclone Thomas Rural Housing Rehabilitation Project in the Northern Division. The High Court judge said as a result of the arbitrary act, the ministry lost $137,000 of taxpayers' money. The judge said Ndao was an experienced manager of the Rural Housing Unit who was with the ministry for 22 years. He said that it was Ndao's duty to ensure that all the materials were delivered. However, only $46,000 worth were supplied. He sentenced Ndao to 2 years imprisonment and refused to fix a parole period. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Around $3 million is needed by the Methodist Church of Fiji this year to assist financing church missions. Assistant General Secretary of the Church, Jeremiah Wanganabete, has confirmed $1.5 million has already been collected from church members, while another $1.5 million is expected to be collected during the week-long conference underway. Savara Thumbo was at the opening of the annual church conference today and filed this report.
The church conference began this morning at Furnival Park in Turek, bringing in members of the 50 divisions in the country with what has been levied to them by the church.
They are requested to pay in a levy of $15 per head, and that is, as I mentioned, will finance the mission of the church in the training of our talatalas, and also in the secretariats who will provide material to enlighten church members and also non-church members, for that matter.
More than 20 primary and secondary school choirs participated this morning with different songs.
I really enjoy singing today. I'm happy to be part of this celebration. This is the first time for me to participate. I really enjoy it. Oh, I love to praise the Lord.
Dozens of people were part of the choir festival this morning. The festival will continue tomorrow with the Methodist conference to begin next week. Sawira Tambua, FBC News.
One of India's biggest naval ships will be visiting our shores next week with more than 200 officers aboard, including doctors. India's High Commissioner to Fiji, Vishwas Sapkal, says the ship is on a goodwill visit aimed at further strengthening bilateral relations between the two countries. Kelly Vavala reports.
This Indian naval ship will berth in Suva next Monday after taking part in the Rim of the Pacific exercise in Hawaii.
On 14th of August, it will be open day for the public from 10 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We request all the people that they should come up with their ID cards. Apart from that, the doctors from the ship, as well as the RFMF doctors, they will be jointly conducting a health screening camp at Ratu Sukuna Park.
Indian Navy Defence Advisor Manish Rai says the ship's arrival coincides with India's 72nd Independence Day.
It is presently carrying 40 officers and 244 sailors on board the ship. After 2 years, an Indian naval ship is calling on the port of Suva, and it is coinciding with the Indian Independence Day celebrations. It's a big ship. First time we have brought in such a big ship over here, and we would love to see more and more of the Fiji people.
The INS Shayatri is the third and latest ship of the Shivali class of Indian-built Stillith frigates and is part of the Eastern Fleet of Indian Navy. Kelly Vatala, FBC News.
Final stages of setup are underway for food stalls and play areas as well as rides for the Hibiscus Festival, which will begin tomorrow. Stall vendors are anticipating a good week ahead with high sales they're looking forward to benefit from. Catherine Krishna reports.
More than 60 stall owners that will be part of this year's Hibiscus are ready for the annual Mother of All festivals to begin at the Valelevu ground in Nasinu from tomorrow.
We are having this same stall from past 4 years at the Nasinu festival. So this time we heard that Hibiscus will be also starting from here. So we just decided to have this stall also over here. So we are really excited.
We were here in Nasinu festival. The business was good. We had a great response from the people in Nasinu, and everybody enjoyed for 7 days. And again, we are back here.
We're also selling pies, cakes, and ngalu. So we're looking forward to a good sale this week.
Meanwhile, residents of Valelevu say they're ready and looking forward to a good time with their families in the coming days.
If the weather remains good, people can enjoy the festival.
Before we always travel to Suva, it's hard to us, but now it's easy to us to come in. Valelevu is nearby.
I wish the weather is sunny and people so that they can come and enjoy their festival.
More than 40 contestants will be participating in this year's Hibiscus Festival held here at Valelevu grounds. Catherine Krishna, FBC News.
In sports later with Jamie, St. Joseph Secondary School gears up for Secondary School Basketball Championship. But up next is Rachel with business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up after the break. Quartz Fiji Limited to open first outlet in Savasavu. And in Growing Fiji, Vio villages to benefit from water main extension project. Stay with us.
Lola, I am Eleanor. For the best classic hits, I only listen to Gold FM here in Singatoka. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Seni Rawa. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Dino. I'm from Outrigger, Koroko, Singatoka. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Salote. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, my name is Marida. Gold FM plays the best classics here in Outrigger, Singatoka.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
In business tonight, Quartz Fiji Limited has extended their service to the people of Savasavu and will officially open their store by the end of this month. Quartz Fiji Director Marketing Anil Sani Wiratne says this means more job opportunities for the people in the north. He says business houses and the hospitality industry stakeholders will be able to benefit from the opening. And we now join Sinifa from HFC Bank with the latest from the financial market.
A quick look at the global markets. The U.S. consumer price inflation numbers for July are expected tomorrow. They're likely to show inflation increased about 0.2% after rising 0.1% in June. Yesterday, the United States and Japan began what they call free, fair, and reciprocal negotiations on trade, with the discussions continuing today. The Reserve Bank of Australia now sees underlying inflation slowing to 1.75% by the end of the year. Down from a previous forecast of 2%, the downgrade is due to one-off cuts in government-administered prices, including electricity and education. Elsewhere, the New Zealand dollar remained on the back foot, stretching its overnight slide to its lowest since March 2016. That's all for this week from HFC Bank, Vinaka.
Thanks, Anifa. Taking a look at today's currency exchange rate set this morning for the Fijian dollar. After some strong gains yesterday, our dollar leveled up again somewhat today, gaining against the Kiwi dollar, the euro, but showing some minor slippage against the other currencies we cover. It was a down day for the commodities market. The price of oil dropped slightly, but it was still above $66 per barrel. Gold was down more than $2 to close at $1,212 an ounce, and silver closed at $15.38 an ounce. And in growing Fiji tonight, the Water Authority of Fiji has extended Lautoka's existing reticulation system to Vio Island in Yasawa to benefit over 250 Fijians. While opening the Vio Island Water Main Extension Project yesterday, Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama highlighted that access to quality water is essential. Felipe Nakaso has more.
Vio villagers will now have access to clean and safe drinking water on their taps after the Water Authority of Fiji successfully piped water from the mainland under the seabed directly to their homes.
Not so long ago, you needed to go to the mainland by boat, fill drums with water from a tap, and cart the heavy containers back to be used for your drinking and washing. It was quite a process, but you had no choice because water is not a luxury. It is a basic human need.
The government invested over $500,000 into the project, which will enable the villagers to benefit from a reliable stream of quality treated water.
But I urge you not to take this new and steady source of water for granted. Be sure you care for the system and report any pipe leaks that you see to Water Authority of Fiji. And do not leave the taps running or treat water like it's now limitless.
Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama has advised the villagers to care for the new water system and report any leaks to the Water Authority of Fiji. Felipe Nakaso, FBC News.
And that's a wrap from the business desk for this week. Jamie joins you now with sports.
Thank you, Rachel, and good evening. Up ahead in sports, Luvu College anticipate tough match in Dean's final showdown. And Maritime Kachi Rugby playoffs kick-start today. There's some more coming up.
Hi, I'm Jyotishma. I'm from Singatoka. I love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM is #1.
I'm Charlene Robert. Mirchi FM rocks in Lambasa.
I'm Soname Nasori Jackson. Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Raymond Dutt. I'm in Baba Singh Alliance. Mirchi FM is hot in Lambasa.
I'm Pritika from Jax Nasori. I love listening to Mirchi FM here in Nasori. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
With the backing of the Nandrunga Navasa province, the Luvu Under-18 rugby team will be aiming to turn another page of rugby history by winning their first ever Dean's title tomorrow. But only time will tell whether Ratu Kondavu Levu School will add to their rich history in secondary schools rugby or whether Luvu will defy all odds and gallop away with the coveted silverware. Meli Tavanga with this report.
Luvu College is hours away from donning their jerseys and running onto the field for their first Dean's final tomorrow in Nodara Bay, Suva.
RKS would be very, very strong. We have seen them in the quarters and the semis. They have been very, very quick, and I think when they have possession, they are able to turn into points.
A large number of fans from Nandrunga are expected to be on hand to come support Luvu.
Almost all the buses from Nandrunga has been booked, which is good for us to hear, but also with caution to our stakeholders that they come.
Meanwhile, a moment of silence will be observed before the final tomorrow to remember the victims of the Nambo accident.
The singing of our national anthem, there will be a moment of silence, and also all the flags during the games will be raised to half-mast, and there's so many other things.
Luvu takes on RKS in the feature match at 4:40 p.m. tomorrow at ANZ Stadium. Melita Vanga, FBC Sports.
Naitasiri rugby coach Koli Sewambu is counting on halfback Frank Lomani to inspire the Highlanders to victory again in the last HFC Bank Fairbrother Trophy Challenge against Tailevu tomorrow. Sewambu has named the Flying Fijians #9 in his starting lineup and believes he will play a key role in tomorrow's clash. He adds that the experience Lomani brings to the side is just the boost Naitasiri needs.
He's the link between forwards and the backline, and is one of the key decision makers, and that really showed on our game against Nandrunga. And then his exposure to the Flying Fijians and to Super Rugby, the experience that he got from that has really, helped us in the last 2 weeks. So that has been the missing link for us. So at the end of the day, it's also what the other team members are doing. The forwards played really well. They laid him a good foundation which he can work on, and that really proved on Saturday. So now having Frank there is a big advantage to our team.
The Maritime Zone Kachi Rugby held their playoffs today to determine the teams that will progress to the National Championships next week. Organizers of the Vodafone Kachi Rugby Finals attributing the growth of the tournament to better funding from its major sponsors. John Tambori reports.
It's all about tapping into the grassroots level and ensuring that our future rugby stars are spotted early.
This is where it all begins. For all those who have donned that Fiji jersey, for all those who will be running into that final for the Dean's Trophy, this is where we begin.
Vice President of Maritime Zone Kitione Turangambedi says the game is developing in the islands and their teams are ready to take on the big guns in the nationals.
Last year, the under-14 Kandavu team managed to reach the final and lost to Suva.
For young hopefuls, it's all excitement. Eroni Sarasau from Kandavu is eyeing a spot in the national under-13 team.
Yes, that's one of my goals to make to be a part of the Fiji team of under-13 this year.
The winners of the Maritime Zone eliminations will progress to the National Kachi Championships next week. This year, for the first time, the National Under-13 and National Under-14 team will be named after the Nationals and will tour Tonga later on in the year. John Tabore, FBC Sports.
The Vodafone Under-19 Fiji football side lost its second match at the OFC Championships, losing 1-0 to the Solomon Islands in Tahiti today. It was a tight match for both sides, with the winning goal by the Solomons only coming in the 88th minute by substitute Tuita Maebuya. Fiji's next match is against New Caledonia, 4 p.m. Monday. The Fiji Secondary Schools Hockey Association expects stiff competition at this year's Super 8 National Finals. The tournament faced a few challenges last year with the unfavorable weather and ground conditions in Ovalau. However, with the change in venue this year, organizers anticipate a successful tournament. Stella Taoi reports.
Fiji Secondary Schools Hockey Association President Emmanuel Prasad believes bringing the games to the National Hockey Centre should improve the standard of competition.
Last year it was rather unfortunate because we had a lot of rain, which was held at Nassau Park in Levukai Ovalau. But this year we are playing on the turf, and playing on the turf it is quite fast. So I'm expecting quite a fast game and a lot of competition, especially amongst the Suva and Lautoka.
Prasad says the turf may present some advantages.
The Suva children are very well versed with the turf, whereas those in Ovalau and Lautoka, they play on the grass surface. But nevertheless, despite that, I'm sure there's going to be a tough and a very good competition that we can expect.
Meanwhile, St. Joseph's will be pulling in their under-16 and under-19s for the competition.
It is just for the girls to go and play and do their best and to try to enjoy the game. And whatever the outcome is, everybody has to be happy about it.
This year's Tucker's Fiji Secondary Schools Hockey Super 8 National Finals will have the top 3 schools from Suva and Lautoka and the best 2 from Ovalau, starting with the quarterfinals from next Monday and ending with finals on Wednesday. Stella Taoi, FBC Sports.
St. Joseph Secondary School's preparations for next week's Fiji Secondary Schools basketball competition is progressing well. Players from its winning under-17 team last year are now in the under-19 grade and are aiming to add another title to their school trophy cabinet. Team manager Alice Crocker says things are looking positive. However, they still have a fair bit of work to do before competition begins next week, Thursday.
We still need more touch-ups to the game plan and the training for the fitness.
The USA claimed its first victory at the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup in France, trouncing Paraguay 6-0 this morning. Savannah DeMello scoring a hat-trick in the convincing win for USA following their opening day loss to Japan. That's it from Sports Tonight. Join Angie later on with weather, and in the world of the weird and the wonderful later on, meet the man who has visited Disneyland 2,000 days in a row. That's coming up.
Nalang gole senia, Obama kita nakas, dorong binakape on Radio Fiji 1 nandomibit.
Ayaw benyana, ito barong on Radio Fiji 1 nandomibisi Hingatoka.
Guado ilaisa Hingatoka, rong binana heramakawa ina Radio Fiji 1 Hingatoka.
Radio Fiji 1 nandomibiti.
Tonight's new media features a Microsoft Surface Go, which can go with you anywhere. The new smaller Surface is portable and less expensive, but be ready to pay for extras. It's Weather Time now with Angie.
Hello to you and to the weekend. Cheers to Friday and also to the start of 2 weeks school holiday plus Hibiscus Festival will commence this weekend. So much excitement in one pack. Getting on to the not so exciting news, which is the days ahead may not be as bright and beautiful. We'll get to the details in a bit, but checking the west out. For today, sunshine made a slight appearance and so did showers. Eastwards from Baghaba to Suva, we could call it an overcast day with showers indicated for later tonight. And up north, there is showers in the forecast, loitering just above Vanua level, and it might spread later tonight or early tomorrow morning. At sea, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots, rough seas. For the tides, low tide at 11:11 p.m. with high tide at 6:18 a.m. Sunrise at 6:29. For tomorrow, the weather looks okay for joyrides, but light showers might interrupt the afternoon phase. Tomorrow's temps, Suva will range from 24 to 26 degrees. And looking further on to Sunday, it doesn't look promising, nothing major, but it will contain a few isolated showers. And it's back to you, Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fiji Impulse tonight, we asked, can Thuvu College from the West create history in the Powerade Super Deans Under-18 final tomorrow, or will RKS retain the title?
Yes, I think Thuvu can beat RKS tomorrow because they've been training with Frank Boyvet.
I think it's RKS going to win the final because it's a very good team and they are performing well.
I think RKS will win this year because they've been in top form in their last games, in the Dean's Cup final, semi-final, and for sure they're going to take the Dean's final this year.
Thuvu College has a potential to win the Dean's this year.
I think that whoever is well prepared between these two teams will be the winner.
Recapping the main stories for tonight, some police prosecutors lacking in court skills, first transportation subsidy to be paid, and narrow escape for 4 from fire. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question segment this week, we're asking, should police arrest people on the spot for filming accidents? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day was taken from the highlands of Nandarivatu, sent in by Racheli Tomuse. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was the FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Bye for now.
मैं नवनीत नंद नंबोलुम्बुआ से। जैसे प्रेनी नोट मशहूर है वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 भी सभी जगह मशहूर है। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
सीमा नकाशी से मैं रेडियो फीजी 2 पसंद करती हूँ सुनने के लिए। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
मैं हूँ अंकल किंग सिंगाटोका टाउन के टैक्सी ड्राइवर। जैसे रग्बी फेमस है वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 फेमस है।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।